This thing on? Camera one, camera two. We're good to go. Welcome back to another market update. I'm going to update you on the Calgary market for September, which I can't believe is already over. It's the 6th of October. Kind of feels like the months just click by like weeks now, but maybe that's just part of getting old. I don't know. Big month for real estate in September. I'm not going to edit that out because I don't edit. This is a very low production value production that you're getting here. I'm winging it. And this is the way I prefer to do it. So stick around and hopefully you find some of this information useful. It was a big month. September was a big month. Normally there's a bit of a seasonal slowdown for September. And market didn't really slow down here. It just kept rolling ahead. It's been a crazy year. And in fact, this last September was second biggest sales month in Calgary, second biggest September ever. The last time this many homes were sold in September in Calgary was 2005. And I don't know if you were into real estate in 2005. I was, not as a realtor, just as a dumbass kid speculating on condos. Got lucky on a few of them. But 2005 was crazy. That was a bubble. That was stuff was going up like $10,000 every month. And I think everybody knew, especially people that had been around, knew that it wasn't sustainable and the bubble would burst, which of course it did. The 2008 subprime mortgage crisis, which collapsed the whole economy of the whole world. But that's neither here nor there. September was a big month, and I'm going to break it down for you. I'm going to show you what happened in Calgary, and I break it down, as I always do, into different categories, different types of product, and show you the difference between apartments and houses and semi-detached and row homes. So here we go. This is sort of the overall picture for the market. So there are two sets of bars. There are gray bars that represent the inventory, and the red bars which represent the sales volume. And then that fat white line is the benchmark price. Again, that's not the average price. That is the benchmark, which is taken from the housing price index, and that represents a composite of what a typical property would sell for. And this slide is across all property types. So houses, duplexes, apartments, and townhouses. And you can see it kind of peaked in the summer, the inventory, and the sales kind of peaked in between March and April. March and April got really crazy, and people were trying to outbid each other on stuff, and even piece of crap houses were selling for above list. And then the inventory started to catch up. So as you can see, if you look at like the gap between the sales and the inventory, if you look at that sales as a percentage of inventory and watch that change, and then you watch the price go along with it. So as you can see, for the first 6 months of the year, prices just shot up and they kind of leveled off. But that doesn't tell the whole story, because you got to look at the different types of products. So starting with apartments, good month for apartments. There are over 1,700 apartments on the market for sale right now. That's the inventory in Calgary. That's up. That keeps going up. 366 apartments sold last month. 632 new listings added. So that 366, that's 50% more than September of last year. Again, pandemic September. I guess we're still in a stupid pandemic, but 2020 was a little different. So that volume's up, but still, for every apartment that's sold, almost two more get added to the market. So very much still a buyer's market, and that average price, $257K, it's been kind of hovering around that. We're not getting any growth there because there continues to be a lot of inventory. So prices have stayed flat on apartments, and that's probably what you're going to see for the near and maybe distant future, as more and more inventory keeps coming online, and fewer and fewer people want to live in apartments. But on the other side of that, apartments are a great deal right now. If you want that apartment lifestyle, you want to live downtown, or you want like kind of a lock and leave kind of place where you're not going to be there a lot, kind of a minimalist setup, you get a lot for your money in an apartment. 65 days on market on average, and that's down a little bit too. And sold price versus list price, sitting around 96.6%. So apartments are selling for 96.6% of what they're listed for. And that's what they were last listed for, not what they were originally listed for. So if you lower the price of your apartment 4 times and you went from $299 to $289 to $279 to $269, and then you get $265, that's like 96%. So keep that in mind. Looking at the trend line on apartments, pretty flat. Like I said, price is pretty flat, not moving much. Still lots of inventory, and not nearly enough sales to keep up with the inventory. The inventory keeps growing, so that the difference between that red bar for sales and the gray bar for inventory keeps getting bigger and bigger. Row homes, townhomes, attached homes. Another hot product in Calgary right now. That got really hot earlier in the year. There's some speculation from the real estate board's chief economist that maybe people that were trying to buy back in the spring that got sort of turned off of the whole process or kind of bullied out of the market decided to wait. Now they're coming back 6 months later and they're trying to buy. I'm dealing with a client like that as we speak. We went out in the spring and looked at some townhouses, and ones with stains in the carpets and the kitchen falling apart were selling in a couple days at full price. And my client was just like, I'm not going to buy something under pressure like this. I'll wait. And that turned out to be a good move. We're buying something now. There's more selection now. But this is still a hot segment. So inventory's down. Sales are up. New inventory is up. And as you can see, there's still more new inventory going on the market than is being sold. But it's a lot closer. Average price of $315,000. That's down 4% from last year, same time. And average of 52 days in the market, that's down as well. Sold price versus list price, 97.6. If I show you the trend line on that, so you can see the red bars, the sales got really crazy, right? March, April, May, and just started to slow down a bit. And this is pretty balanced right here. This is, within the Calgary market, this is a pretty balanced segment. And hovering right around that 300K mark on average that you're going to pay for a row home. My next category is semi-detached. Is anyone still watching? I don't even know if anyone watches these to the end, but I'm going to finish it anyway. I hope you're finding this helpful. I hope you find this information valuable. And please ask me any questions if not all of this makes sense. Semi-detached, another really hot segment. This is a segment where inventory had a hard time keeping up. And semi-detached are a great product for people that they're great redevelopment homes. So for infills, you take a 50, 55, 60-foot wide lot in an inner city community like Altadore or Bankview or something like that. You bulldoze the old house and you put a really nice duplex in there. And some of those areas will sell for $700,000, $800,000, $900,000, $1 million per side for a luxury duplex. And that gets you into a premium inner city location without having to pay, a fortune for a house. Hot segment, again, 517 on the market. Not a lot of inventory. 210 sold last month. That's way up. New listings up, 296. And look at that, those numbers are close together. Sales to new listings ratio really tight in there. So this is a seller's market on semi-detached. Average price, $464K, down a tiny bit, 42 days on market, just under 98% sold price versus list price. And then you can guess what my next slide is. I'm going to show you the trend line. And you can see the same thing that's happened there is it's kind of stabilized. So things got really crazy in the spring, cooled off a little bit, and pretty steady now, but still very much a seller's market on this product. And that means there's more buyers than sellers for these typically. So the hottest market in Calgary is detached homes by far. This is what everyone wants to buy in Calgary. And a lot of what's driving the price of this, I think, are people that are moving out of the inner city and getting rid of their apartments, flooding the market with apartments, and then they want to buy a house with a basement and a yard and a garage, and they can have a dog and some space. That's what everybody wants right now. People are staying at home; they're not traveling so much. They want a more comfortable home. So just about 2,500 of those on the market. That's down almost 20% from this time last year. 1,268 detached homes sold last month. That's big for Calgary. So that's 20% better than this period last year. And just 1,562 new listings added to the market. So those numbers are really close together. That's a really tight sales to new listings ratio, which puts this firmly in the seller's market category. Average price keeps going up. Every time I do one of these, we get a little closer to 600K for a detached home. If you break these down by different communities, there's more of a story there. But this video is already long enough and boring enough that I'm not going to do that to you, and no one's going to watch it anyway. Days on market 36 down. So just over a month it's taken to sell a house, and people are getting on average 97% of their asking price. So a lot of them go above asking, but that's part of a pricing strategy. It's a strategy to price something a little bit below the market price just to get a flood of interest on it and a bunch of offers in a short amount of time. But on average, you average them all out because some people want to try for more. They want to try for an extra 20, 30, 40,000, and all that ends up doing is spending more time on the market till you eventually lower the price to what people are willing to pay typically. So on average, 97%. I got one more trend line here, and tells the same story as most of the other product. Really crazy spring we had here. First half of the year just blew up. Prices went up 10%, and it's tapered off and leveled off. It's stabilized. Okay, so a stable market is one where you can buy with confidence. This is not a market where you're gonna get a bunch of speculators coming in like you do in Toronto or places like that, and just buying something and then dumping it a few months later and making a bunch of money. It's something stable where you buy something today, it's going to be worth at least what you paid for it, probably more in a few years, but you're not going to get wild swings in value. And the way the economy's going, with the price of oil going up and natural gas going up, I think people can buy with lots of confidence in Calgary. And I'm saying this to people in Calgary, but as well to people migrating to Calgary from other parts of the country or other parts of the world. We got a solid future ahead of us, and things are looking good. So again, you can see very close between sales and inventory. That there's only 2 months supply of inventory. So you see that the gray bar, the inventory, is about double the size of the red bar, the sales. So if you stopped adding inventory, we'd be out of houses in 2 months. This is a month worth of data. So there's about 2 months supply of inventory. So that's a fast turn. That's the entire market turning over 6 times a year. So that's good. That's a seller's market. But it's stabilized enough that the crappy houses aren't getting multiple offers. The overpriced houses aren't getting looked at. But stuff that's priced right and shows well is still selling, and the seller is still in control. One more bonus slide for you. I show you Airdrie because I live in Airdrie and I love Airdrie. And you want to see a hot market. This is a really hot market. 1.43 months of supply. Now that's across all product categories. And in Airdrie, now this isn't broken down into product types, but I can tell you in Airdrie, apartments aren't hot here either. People are buying with the same habits that they are in Calgary, and they want a house. And if they can't get a house, they want a semi-detached. And if they can't get a semi-detached, they want a townhouse, a row home. But no one's kicking down the door to buy apartments here. Things are moving along, but still lots of apartment inventory. So my point is, these averages are across all product types. At only 1.43 months of supply in Airdrie, things are really moving fast. Benchmark price just under 400K. Again, that's across all product types. So houses are doing really well in Airdrie. Only 237 listings right now, and 166 sold in September, 179 new listings. So almost every single, save a few, almost every single listing that went on the market in September in Airdrie sold right away. So good news. That's the end of it. That's my September market report, and I'll see you in another week, or it'll feel like another week. I'll see you in the beginning of November, and we'll do this again. I'm really busy right now. I got a lot of stuff going on. I'm working on a bunch of different deals. But I want to keep pounding out these videos. It's a good habit. Going through and pulling all this information, it keeps me informed, and I like to have the answers that my clients are asking the questions for. So if you have more questions, if you want to dig into this a little further, love to sit down and talk to you. Give me a call.